This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com. This show is brought to you by Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/AwesomeCast.
I'm getting awesome, you're getting awesome, we're getting awesome, yeah, that's what I said now. I'm getting awesome, you're getting awesome, we're getting awesome, yeah, that's what I said. Nightmares, I don't care, I love it.
It's time to get geeky, get awesome. It is the AwesomeCast. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on the Twitter. The Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, PA. And we're going to have an awesome night here. And first of all, with us from Big Bank International Esquire, he's a gadget guru over there. It is John Chichilla at Chilla on the Twitter.
And did you know 1 bushel is equal to 8 gallons. It's a measure of volume.
We were talking about this not Bluetooth. What the hell technology is this? It's older technology. It's just USB, folks. There's an HDMI USB dongle that I got, so they can now, because this is how our guests on the show would always see us as this old crappy webcam I'd have set up. So when I show you cool things out there, they're not seeing it. Hold on a second.
We just estimated.
My Twitter, there it is. There, now everybody sees. So I got this dongle because they would see me on this old crappy webcam because I gave away all my good ones. So I didn't know there'd be a gold rush for them last year. And I just got this. Yeah, you got the same one over there. Is that one of mine? Did I get the?
No, this is one I got from.
Or did I get this one from you? Maybe. So
I don't know.
Yeah, basically the same thing. But basically that's how they would see everything. So when I showed you guys cool websites on the video feed, they wouldn't see them, and that's why sometimes we kind of mixed what we were talking about. Now I just got this like little cheap dongle I found on Amazon, and they see what you see out there for the most part, actually. Some graphics and stuff that like the intros, outros they don't see, but that's good because we can communicate. But anyways, enough inside baseball for that. Also with us, speaking on inside, she just was a guest on one of our internal podcasts here of Fishing Without Bait. The Dudders is with us.
Did you know a bushel is equal to 4 pecks?
Oh, and I said I was going to get a bushel of these dongles. That's what that came from. That's why we're talking.
You're going to get 4 pecks of
long way around.
You could probably come up with your own measurement for dongles, because in looking up, like, corn, a bushel of corn is 56 pounds, whereas a bushel of white soy or soybeans is 60.
Yeah.
So you could like come up with the Sorgatron standard unit of measurement for a bushel of dongles.
You're right, and it's going to be, what is a sorg of dongles? And the answer is 1 more than you need if something fails.
I figured you would have said all of them.
Yeah, well, I was trying to be realistic here, Chilla. So, also back with us, because she was also in the news recently, Amanda Narcisi of Bold Pittsburgh, and a cool hashtag that we'll talk about here in a little bit. How you doing, Amanda?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm glad to have you back. I see, and I've actually been reading some Bold Pittsburgh in my News Plus, or not my Apple News, I guess. I guess it's not on the plus side, but still, I don't know. It's all meshing together right now. I don't know what's happening, guys. It's the 19th as we're recording this, and it's something Eve and tensions are high. But anyways, we're talking about bushels in the chat room. Chilla, what the hell?
Podner asked, "Are we listening to show tunes?" And I don't know where that came from.
No, me neither. Unless
is there a show tune about
bushels?
bushels?
A bushel and a peck is a show tune.
And a hug around the neck.
And they're talking in my sleep. Isn't that the next line?
I'm gone. What's happening right now? What just went down?
It's not from Brigadoon. What's it from?
Oh no.
I thought it was Guys and Dolls.
It's probably Guys and Dolls.
I can't confirm it, but I think it's Guys and Dolls.
Okay.
We went from like ag chat to Broadway chat to.
Anyways, well, let's get through some business first of all. Please go check out everything if you have not yet at AwesomeCast.com. I almost said 3 different wrong names there. Email us AwesomeCast@sorgatronmedia.com if you have any comments about the show or interested in advertising opportunities with the AwesomeCast. Tweet us at AwesomeCast, the AwesomeCast Facebook page and group. A lot of our stories that we're talking about tonight were posted throughout the week in the Facebook group, and your contributions often make it into the show. I know I got a couple things we might get to that Dave Ponder submitted here as well. So I guess I can officially put bushel of dongles into our show note options now. But And of course, we are live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on the Facebook page, on the YouTube page, as well as I think we're still on the Sorgatron Media Twitch. I can't remember if I still do that now. It's over on that tab over there. And also, hey, you can ask your Amazon Echo or Google podcast to listen to the AwesomeCast podcast on there. And please subscribe to us. And wherever you do subscribe, if there's a rate function, especially if there's a review function over there, please, and especially on the iTunes. Somebody else was talking about this week, and I have the same problem where these shows have been around 10, 15 years, and we have a bunch of reviews from like 2013. So if you'd like to refresh them and not refer to hosts that aren't hosts. I've been watching a lot of Letterkenny, so if I pluralize things on the fly, just bear with me, okay? But yeah, if you guys can put some ratings over there, please. Oh, this is gonna be a rough one. 405media.com and postindustrial.com helping spread the AwesomeCast. And thank you to the people that are, for some reason, supporting the show at patreon.com. It's AwesomeCast. Our friends at the Coffee Club level, Matt Weller, John DeGore, John Carmen, and Cynthia Klosky. And our friends at the Fan of the Show level, Michael Fedor, pghmuseums.org, the Professor Buzzkill podcast, and Dave Podner. You guys can support the show, too. Help us keep the lights on here in the studio at patreon.com/AwesomeCast. So let's get into our awesome things of the week. Geez, where are we starting? Dudders, I've done some work with Frzy over the past year or so, and he's a fun dude, fun Grammy Award-winning dude, and I understand that's what your awesome thing of the week is involving.
Yes, this is the local awesome thing. I think we've all worked with Frzy at some point along the way, because he has just been involved with a lot of just everything in the city. It's impressive. Every time he's popping up everywhere, and such a good dude, such a great guy, doing so many things for the community. He's also in the Guinness Book of World Records for longest period of time rapping, which is pretty darn impressive. But Eaton Park is doing a really cool thing to honor him, and he's getting his own cookie. And if you go on Eaton, if you're familiar with Eaton Park smiley face cookies, you can now order a Frzy cookie. They come at, you could buy a dozen of those. And the plan is the proceeds will go to Children's Hospital, which is, of course, the very Frzy way to do things, because he, like I said, he's very much involved with the community and giving back. So this is a really awesome honor, because I think all of us, our Yinzer dream bucket list would be in, our faces on an Eaton Park cookie. So we're all jealous. And
that doesn't happen. Like, other than like the sports team cookies that they'll do from time to time, like there isn't a lot of in holidays, I guess. They don't have like a Rick Seaback cookie, for instance. I don't know why they don't, but still.
They did a Mikey and Bob, I think, cookie at one point.
Did they?
That one. I think they did at one point. And like, for example, the Frzy cookie, you do have to go to buy it online on Eaton Park's website, and then you can have them shipped to wherever. So you can send him to anyone in the country you'd like.
Oh, we need to send him the Mad Mike, because every time I bring up Eaton Park on the Mayhem show, being a New Yorker, he is confused by the concept of the name. It's like, don't you park and eat, and it just frustrates me every time, because it's just the thing. It's just the thing that we accept here, So, anyways, that's awesome. That's cool. So that's for Children's Hospital, and I guess if you go to EatonPark.com, you can order those even if you're not a Pittsburgher here listening to the show. So there you go. Hey, Brandon out in Kansas City, you can get some too. It's not just talking about pizza. You can't order that far out. So that's awesome. Chilla, what is your awesome thing, or your cool? No, I misread this. What is your awesome cool thing?
I couldn't remember if I covered these before or not. So these are, it's called Cololight.
Okay.
They're made by Lifesmart. They are kind of octagon type lights that have multiple LEDs in them, and you can set them to do and animate in any way, shape, or form. I think when we talked about some of the you can see them kind of off to the left or up there, up above that cabinet in that one picture. You can set them to different like styles of animation. You can actually use a microphone and set them to respond to sound. You can build cool little things out of them, whether they be like little guys or heart shapes. I just started getting them for my home office. They're a lot cheaper than like the Nano Leaf that I think we've covered probably ages ago on the show by now.
Mm-hmm.
They do work with HomeKit. They work with A-Train, the G-Man. They work with all the home automation tools. I actually mounted mine with Velcro. They have mounting kits for sale. They'll sell you 3M tape to mount them. I mounted mine with Velcro in case I wanted to take mine down or move them around. I got my first 7 up, and I was so thrilled with them that I ordered 7 more the next day. I would highly recommend checking them out on Amazon, because the website would, at least when I originally ordered them, had to come from Canada, and it took them over a month to get here with between COVID and Christmas holiday. But super impressed with them, super impressed with the app to control them. You do have to buy a little extra dongle type thing that's included in one of the primary kits to make them HomeKit compatible. But it was easy as scanning the little barcode type thing, and they were instantly set up. So
I went out to, I guess, caution, because I just did a quick search on Amazon, and there's appear to be like several kind of off brands of this that I'm seeing.
Yeah, so Lifesmart is like the primary one, and I've read, is it Ye something?
YesCom?
YesCom. And from my understanding, YesCom is like another version of the identical item.
Okay. So make sure, like, you specifically have the Lifesmart Cololights. And
yeah, and if you go to Colo's Colo, COLOLIGHT.com, I think somewhere on the page there's like a buy it from Amazon button. So if you want like to make sure you're getting like the exact brand, you can click off of their site.
Yeah, I'm not seeing, like, on the Cololight page that you have linked here, like, I'm not seeing a buy link. But if you go to like Lifesmart, I think they have a few more options over there. So I'm not entirely seeing it just yet. So it's at least not in the top part of it. So, but no, those look really cool, and I would probably stick with the brand, because I have a feeling some of these other ones maybe, like, they'll get the cheaper ones that are some YesCom or some odd brand, because they probably don't have all the features, right?
That I wouldn't know, because I've never bought one, but I will say it's pretty interesting the way you connect them together. There's kind of like these 2 little pinned clips that go right on the back, and it's as easy as kind of clipping them together to device, and you can pretty much put them in any honeycomb type pattern that you want to.
That's awesome. Cool way to decorate. Hey, Amanda, you said you were looking to smart up your living room or something. This could be something for that, right?
Oh, absolutely. I'm always fascinated by lights. I did the hue lights all over my house. They cut my electric bill in half, and I love sitting in my house and just being like, A-Train, good night, and she turns off all my lights. I say, hey Siri, good morning.
Oh. And
Siri took over.
And Siri takes over her audio apparently when she says that. So is she back? Is she back with us? Oh no,
I'm not here.
I just woke up.
I'm not hearing her either.
Oh no, what happened?
Gone forever.
All right, well we'll give her a minute to hopefully something comes back there. But in the meantime, okay, now my Siri needs to stop, so I make sure the feed's still going. Uh-oh, we lost you. Oh, you're telling her. Okay. But is she still trying to talk over there?
She was.
Yeah.
But she's trying again.
Oh no. Live podcasting. Well, and she's gone. All right, we'll see what happens there. There, she's back.
Am I back?
Yes, you're back.
Oh, gotta love new computer
So
updates.
hey Shlomo, that's where we lost you. So, yeah, it looks like a fun thing. So, Amanda, now that we know you have audio, let's hit your awesome thing of the week.
Did you get it fixed?
Yeah. So I opened my newsletter today about blogging. I get a weekly newsletter that's made locally by Discover the Berg. Is half partners in this newsletter that's like This Week in Blogging. And he sent out this this link that's called Google Stories. So I know we talk a lot about like Reels and Shorts and YouTube Shorts and all of those. These are kind of like the same thing. So they play nicely only with WordPress or authentically coded sites. So I really haven't been able to look at a way to integrate them into Squarespace sites. However, what you do is you design something like a guide or a short film or whatever, and you can actually import it into your sites. But here's the thing, it's actually searchable by Google, and they'll actually be starting to be like on the front page and things like that. So if these stories get searched, like how to make fettuccine pasta, it shows up as these like instructional short videos or these flip books. The way it looks, it's like a half in between those new Instagram guides and like a short video, because you can tap through it, you can slide through it, you can watch it all the way through. So it's kind of neato. I haven't dove too deep into it, but I thought it was really neato that you could now make like a tappable story that would be SEO kind of friendly, and it would be on your site as well as searchable.
So, and stories have been starting to creep into. I found myself flipping through some of them the other day on YouTube on my phone. And of course, we've been talking on the social media Slack that about. I've been experimenting with stories, on YouTube too, and actually to great success for in a couple of instances for this show, for other shows, things like that. So this is something that eventually, are you saying that, like, I imagine something where eventually when I search in the Google app or website, this is something that's going to come up, like there's going to be a story section of sorts?
It looks that way. It also looks like it will actually be able to point it back towards your site, because there is a point that you can monetize it by obviously putting it on your site, i.e. sell advertising, sell sponsorship of it. It didn't straight out say how it's going to be searchable yet, but it's really neato because they give all these tools. Like they gave you 3 websites that you could create your own, and all these tips and tricks on how to make them interesting. And like people are already using it, like Bushel and Vice and Forbes and stuff. So it didn't really highlight how it's going to go back to Google, but I think it's kind of neato.
So there's a plugin for WordPress, so you can go right into that. And we, AwesomeCast, Wrestling Mayhem Show are still on WordPress. We haven't migrated them yet, but and then so there's other developer docs and things like that. So you can code your story. That's exciting. Oof. So I guess this is but I'm also wondering at what point I guess you have to do it through these certain methods, so it's doing text that's searchable. This isn't so much that, hey, I'm already creating things like for these shows or for other platforms like your TikTok, your stories, your Reels, your fleets, so translating that over maybe isn't such a great idea, right? Like they want them to be natively here, but if you're natively making them here, hopefully that means you can export them and put them on the other things, right?
I feel like it's halfway. It's more like a guide, like those new Instagram guides.
Yeah.
So it's like almost like that. I don't know. Like it's a different type of media. Like it's half video and half like a tappable thing that you could just scroll through. like wanted to meet it like in between the two. I haven't, like I said, I really want to try one just to kind of see how well it goes.
Right.
My site unfortunately is not WordPress, so I'd have to figure out how to incorporate the coding in. But,
it might be
which
something.
is scary.
It might be something that's coming. So, but this is early, I imagine. So this is something they're trying to get in front of developers. Like I just looked up Vice.com and I don't see any representation of this or in the search or on it, at least on a browser, on a desktop. So maybe that's the difference. I don't know. So I mean, obviously, stories is kind of more of a phone thing. So it'll be interesting. It really is. Like, stories are just kind of the new visual storytelling, right? The stories TikTok idea. Katie, remember a few weeks ago when you asked me which way to shoot your video?
Yep.
This kind of goes along with that. Well, what are you doing with it? So, but no, I think it's something. It's the new way people expect to consume content. So, if you are in charge of a brand, in charge of a website, look at this. At least look at this, right? So, I mean,
I actually just found on the Q&A, it says, where do web stories surface across Google? And it says it's on the Android and iOS Google app already. And you have to enable the web stories on Google search everywhere else.
You got me curious now. I'm opening the app now.
It's like a weird. There's a Q&A at the bottom of the.
So is this
page.
where like my because you have a home and you have collections? I'm poking through right now to see if there's anything going on.
Discover.
The Discover.
Discover.
So that's like the front page. I think that's the home page, and I have not. Whoa! Wait! Oh, I've seen these, Amanda. I have seen these. Hold on a second. We're going to show you guys on the video version as well. Yeah, if you have that, there it is, like halfway down. I didn't even think about it being this. And there they are. So you have these stories, and it's all like, here's peanut butter banana baked oatmeal cups. Here's about should Captain America return the MCU, and it's going to load up this more animated style. Oh, these are different stories. So, like, I go into my Captain America thing. Well, now that's a page, and then I click on it. Okay, so you got to watch. You tap on it, and you go through the story, and they're putting text underneath clips from, like, in this case, the Captain America movies, right, and everything. So you tap that. But if you flip, you end up on a different story. So you got to watch what you're doing here. Like, it's a little different than what you're used to everywhere else. And it's talking about Anthony Mackie and has clips of that and Doctor Strange and Skrulls and things. So there you go. That's cool. Okay, so it's out there, and it's now how do I get into it? Interesting. So that homepage, I believe, is mostly generated from your interests in what you search, right? Mine is all wrestling, comic books, video games. That's basically everything. So that's how. So if you're doing you're doing Bold Pittsburgh and you're doing your stories, that'll come up under Pittsburgh and restaurants and things like that, right? In nightlife. So interesting. Never buy an iPad in January. This one that just came up with just a snowy park bench. What the? Okay, well, my awesome thing of the week, and is appropriate. Amanda happens to be on this week that I picked this, because as of last week, I finally, well, joke's on me, I finally got the Apple One, since most of my trials were ending very soon, only to find out today that Apple TV is extending their trial. And if you bought Apple One, they are actually going to credit you $5 a month for the time being, I guess, for the extended trial. But I don't know how that works. But so I did that, and starting last Monday, I got into Apple Fitness, and it's been pretty nice, guys. I've been big on using it. We have a treadmill, and typically I would just kind of watch like a 20-minute TV show, half an hour TV show, and just go for a walk. And that's what I did through most of like last summer. It's really kind of a, I don't know how to do anything aside from just walk on this thing or run on this thing, and I'm afraid I'm going to hurt myself. But the instructors are great on this thing. The music is great. I have a favorite one. It's My Treadmill with Scott. It's the one that has the ludicrous Fast and the Furious song on it. So that is a big pick for me. And I've tried it on the phone, on the iPad. The iPad's really nice to just kind of sit there on the treadmill and kind of kind of fills it in. It's kind of nice to look at. But you get all the pop-ups as you've seen. Oh no, is it not pushing the video? It's not pushing the video over my my input here, but you saw everything in the corner there. But no, it's been really nice. And the fun part that I've had with this is every time I do a workout, because I'm linked with Missy, is she's sitting up here at work, and we were talking about beforehand how I have my morning routines now. So I'll go do my workout. She'll get a notification and know that she should come home for lunch soon, because I'm probably hopping in the shower after the workout. So it's all kind of come together. I've been talking with a couple other people online about this after I started posting about the workouts, and I started doing the mindful cool downs afterwards. They've been really nice. A little bit of kind of yoga, stretching, breathing kind of exercise for about 5 minutes. Really good after you've kind of got yourself going on the treadmill. I tried something called HIIT exercises, HIIT. It stands for something, but it's a lot of I don't know, aerobic, heavy moving and kicking, I guess. I was really sore after that one. So, and I'm hoping to dust off an exercise bike that hasn't been touched in years. Like, it's one of those things, you buy the thing and you use it 2 times and don't like it kind of things. And I'm like, well, maybe somebody telling me how to use this thing the right way I can get a lot more out of it. So, so it's been really good in practice. I started it a second week, so that says something for it kind of integrating really well with this. And I do feel so much better on days when I actually get in. And the nice thing is there's 10, 20, 30 minute workouts in most cases. So if I'm running like out of time for for the day or something like that, you can just pick the shorter workout, and I just fit it into whatever time I have. So highly recommended. It's what is it? I think it's $10 a month by itself. Or it's included in the $30 a month like Apple Everything One plan. So
you're now talking me into upping my one plan.
You're already at the $20 one, right?
Yeah.
Listen,
and
man.
And the funny part is, so someone right before the show just got a treadmill and asked me if I wanted their old, and it's not that old, it's only like a year old, exercise bike. And we've had some bad experiences trying to return to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's still an issue.
I'm now thinking,
yeah,
should I give it a try? And then Carla's going to need an Apple Watch. It's just going to be a lot of Apple.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, ideally, I even used the Apple TV. That was really cool. That's how I did the HIIT exercise, because the most room is going to be in my living room, and it's right there. Mm-hmm. And make sure everything is updated. I didn't have everything. I didn't realize how much of my stuff wasn't updated until I started using this, and it was like, we can't find your watch. The Apple TV is cool because you bring it up and it finds the watches that are like nearby. So like if Missy's like in the house, like I could see hers too, and then it's just automatic. You pick the person, the watch on there, and it goes right into it, and you can go from there. So
do you have to have a certain model of watch? Does it go all the way back to like series? I'm guessing it doesn't go back to series 1.
I have a series 3 and it went back to it.
Yeah.
I have a series 3 and we have a.
I think series 3.
Series 1.
I think series 3 is the bottom end of it, but I'm not sure about the others. It could. You don't know. I don't know. Do they limit the OS updates on those yet? Have they been?
On the 1, I think they did.
Okay.
Yeah, the 1 they did. 2s are clunky if you try to update them, so not too many people do. They usually at that point trade it in and get something higher. I haven't seen too many 2s that are updated all the way.
And hopefully, since they're still selling them at a pretty high pace and on sale and everything, hopefully that means the 3s are going to last a good while on these 2. So
I think I just saw an ad 2 days ago that the 3 was like $50 off too.
Yeah.
So that knocked it down to like 140 something.
that's not bad. Like for somebody that's just like kind of thinking on getting into it, because it doesn't need all the fall protection and things like that, and ECG, EKG, ECG. What I know that's a different one.
ECG.
Okay. Yeah, it's I think it's kind of nice. So, highly recommended if you're in the Apple universe. If you're in other universes, I understand like the Peloton and things like that are. I think you can just subscribe to them and get kind of the video classes kind of thing. And it's nice while you don't have the integrations necessarily, unless you buy some of their hardware. It is nice to it's nice to have somebody telling you how to do things, because the first thing I have is like we tried a gym for a little bit. I'm just like, I don't even know where to start. I don't know if I'm doing this stuff right, kind of thing. So, side note, story that I heard. Did you hear about how there's an issue with I guess the incoming president has a Peloton bike or treadmill or something, and they can't bring it in because all the technology and cameras that are involved?
I did read that article.
I think Michelle Obama may have had the same issue several years ago. So, but this goes back to, I remember when Obama had a BlackBerry and that was an issue, So, man, how those times have changed. So, anyways, hey, let's talk about pizza for a minute, because we got to all the awesome things, right? I didn't miss anybody. Want to give a shout out to our friends at Slice on Broadway, our good friends supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Good going in. Hey, they got new pizza boxes. I was so worried. I went through the week where I was like, hey, why do you have generic pizza boxes? We always look forward to this. And but no, they have new ones, and I recommend it if you haven't gotten it for a while. Because I'm sitting there and I'm reading the box, and on one side it says New York City style, yins are made, and there is a pizza oath on it. It's like
I didn't notice the pizza oath, and funny enough, I ordered 5 pizzas.
You were 5 pizzas? I think you were I think you were opted into the oath with that.
Sunday night we ordered 5.
But so you saw that. Yeah, there's the I blank swear to eat the pizza, the whole pizza, nothing but the pizza. So no, it looks like they had a lot of fun with that, and that really kind of goes to the attitude of these guys. I know they got a visit from Beastman again last week. If you've seen the video that we posted over our Wrestling Mayhem show from a while ago, where he came in and wreaked havoc in the Slice on Broadway location here in Beachview. But go check them out. 3 locations, Beachview, Carnegie, and the East End. So go check them out, support the show, and support some good local pizza. And a reminder, a good time to remind everybody, Amanda, about that hashtag that they can use while they're getting their local takeout, right?
Yes, absolutely. It is the best time to use, sorry about that, to use hashtag myPGHTakeout.
Yes. So how is that going? Katie talked a little bit about the trip story last week that kind of took off from your happenstance conversation the last time you were on the show, actually. But has that been doing well ever since?
Yes. So thanks again to Dudders for our amazing brainstorming. That it really took off. I mean, after the You Jag Off podcast and after the trip article, I just checked it the other night. We're up to over 500 photographs on Instagram that are tagged. And we actually have about 10 restaurants using it religiously right now. Nice. So it's really great. It's taking on to Twitter quite nicely. I do like that. That it's kind of migrated over there also, because I didn't want it just to be an Instagram thing. But yeah, over 500 photographs so far. About 10 restaurants are on board. We're hoping more jump on board as it grows. Yeah, it's been really great. It's been really awesome. I'm hoping that it's keeping their phones ringing. So
Awesome. It definitely so important now. I kicked myself because I got some takeout last week with the explicit purpose to use the hashtag, and then I forgot. So, which just means I'm gonna have to get some more takeout this week, right? So go check it out. Here's a little view of the hashtag over on Instagram as well. There's some good food eating going on over there too. So, oh geez, this is amazing. I don't go to fancy enough places, that's for sure. I just get my burritos and my tacos. But that works.
That is the coolest thing, is that we have everything from, like, I did Slice on Broadway a couple weeks ago, to tacos, to the expensive restaurants downtown. So it's everything incorporated.
Pancakes. There you go. Where is that?
Takeout pancakes.
Takeout pancakes from somewhere. I'm looking for it on the fly here. Yeah. So I think, is that from A Black Man Brunching? Yeah, over on Instagram. So, but no, yeah, pancakes. Anyways, let's get into some of the stories for the week here before Chilla turns into a digital pumpkin and get through the stories. Anything that Chilla, is this you with the arcade stick?
Yeah, that's me. And I'm a huge fan of 8-Bit Do. I'm guessing that's how you pronounce the name of the company. You can see I have I have the SN30 Pro right behind me here. They've announced a new arcade stick, and if you remember back in the day, the old Nintendo, was it the Nintendo Arcade? I remember they had the NES Advantage too.
The NES Advantage was the one that I had. Yeah, that was like the go-to.
The Advantage was the joystick?
Yep.
Okay. Because I remember, what was the one, the NES Max had like the weird
The NES Max was bullshit.
Yes. So this is more like the better of the two. It's a full-fledged arcade stick. It has a player 1, player 2 button, numerous buttons for remapping. The joystick, from what I read, is removable. If you remember the old turbo buttons, though, you can turbo charge your buttons. The cool thing about 8-Bit Do is they also have a software application that you can use to kind of tweak the settings on the device. The one thing that I thought was super cool about this, if you play anything on your Raspberry Pi from like a modding perspective, this can be Bluetooth. There's a like tuck away 2.4 gigahertz USB receiver. And for people that think that wireless has too much lag for the professionals, it can be wired into the device as well. I've had some hit or miss with Bluetooth on like Raspberry Pis and whatnot, trying to get that configured depending on what you're running from like a Retro Pi or whatever perspective. It will work in a couple of different modes too. With it'll actually work with Nintendo Switch. As well as PCs and other devices alike. So just an all-around nice looking joystick, along with, being able to use it with a ton of different setups, as well as also being I think they call it Ultimate? Yeah, the 8-Bit Do Ultimate software lets you remap buttons and also lets you create macros.
So I love this. So they're showing, like, if you're a modder, like you talk about like kind of the joystick being able to take off, but like they're showing you can open this up, and if you're like a joystick modder, like you can go in and change the buttons in and everything too. Like it's and actually make adjustments, I guess, to how firm they are and things like that. So that's cool. That's cool.
Even at the $90, I think $90 might be expensive for some to just buy a joystick.
I think that
I look at for how many devices you can use this with, the different connectivity, and even if you didn't want to mod it, but hey, the button broke, you could probably work, if you're into buying this type of thing, you can probably work your way through a button replacement, because it's so large. It's not like you're taking apart an iPhone.
Yeah.
It's a pretty large device, and they said it also has nice weight. So whether you're putting it on some kind of tabletop or you want to just set it on your lap, there's a nice weight to it.
I say not the prettiest, but again, if you're kind of throwing back to that NES Advantage kind of look to it, I think it's really cool. So as long as it works and feels good, I want to stay on the Nintendo side for a moment here. We actually so every Monday night we have this Monday Mayhem Warriors show, which we finally settled on a name, and it's really just Mad Mike and me just kind of coping with the fact that Monday Night Raw sucks, and he tells me about what Legos he's working on, or we talk about WandaVision or The Mandalorian, right? I know it's a wrestling podcast, but this week I wanted to share this one because this was really cool. We talked about on here before the Nintendo a Lego kit. Is right? Like that's something that's come up, right? The one that's like the Nintendo system and the TV and everything like that. So he's showing it off last night, and there's a video over a Wrestling Mayhem show on YouTube, and again it's from the last night's show, and so he's showing me this, and the TV. He's picking up the TV, which looks heavy, and I'm like, how is that thing so heavy? You know, it's the Mario, and he moves up and down, and there's like kind of a Lego brick, like kind of pattern behind him. It just looks like a little kind of diorama thing. But the thing I didn't realize, it moves. You build a device with a crank, and it scrolls the background behind Mario as you move him on the TV. So it just, and this is an official Lego set. I haven't seen like something that turned into that hefty of a device with there's definitely bricks like scrolling around on some kind of wheel inside the thing you built. So this is a big set. This is like a $250 set. I looked it up after the show. It's crazy, but and like I say, everything like the plugs, the RCA plugs look right and everything like that. So I just thought that's something that the audience over here would enjoy. So I don't have the patience for Lego kits. I really should. I guess it's a good mindfulness thing, but I'm just not up for it. So he's built everything. He's built like the giant Hogwarts castle, and my arms are outstretched because that is how big it is. Like super set that they have, like it's all segmented and everything like that. So, what else do we have here? Katie, what is going on in the social media world here?
So Facebook and Instagram they're both improving their AI for captions, image captions. When you're posting photos, you should be going in and essentially like adding a description to your photo. So if someone was blind or having visually impaired, they'll be able to tell what's in your photo because it reads it'll read the caption out loud. And essentially it's called the alt text. I couldn't think of the word. The alt text is the phrase, but essentially it's like the metadata within your photo. So it tells if you've ever taken a photo and you've adjusted that. But it's the AI, so in case you're not putting those descriptions on your photos, it is able to dig a little deeper instead of just being, the example I give is like, this is an image, maybe an image of a person standing at Machu Picchu. And now they're like, maybe an image of 5 people, including this person playing musical instruments, 2 people are standing, 2 hats, 5 drums. So it's a much broader description, which is really, really cool. And it's amazing how well we should be further along with the AI, I think, as far as this kind of stuff goes. But it's it's a huge jump from where they've been to where they are now, which is exciting, and giving the position of the different people in the photo. It's really neat. So in case you're not adding image descriptions for your alt text on your photos, people who are blind or visually impaired will still be able to enjoy them.
So is this happening across the board, regardless of opt-in at this point?
Yeah, it sounds like it's just a thing that is just happening.
Because I mean, the general poster, is not doing this. Like, isn't even thinking about like the only reason we do because we work in the space, right? So that's good because you're not going to get a mass amount of people to do this, and then you basically have just like have a white slate on half of it for the impaired when you're doing visuals.
And I've never, and I need to dive a little deeper into this, but I've never, I don't know how much it impacts the searchability of your photos on Facebook and Instagram, because it is metadata that if you were searching, if you were Googling an image of something and you have in your alt text, I'm looking for a white horse in a field or whatever, was an example, if that would pop up because the alt text being on there, and if the AI was able to assist with that. I haven't really seen a lot of information in regards to that, if it helps with the searchability.
So looks like as it's saying here in the TechCrunch article, the new detailed description will come to Facebook first for testing, though the improved vocabulary will appear on Instagram soon. So, kind of behind the scenes, but it helps out other people. So there you go. Amanda, I saw a note in here of something that you've been trying out, and I actually so you brought up Clubhouse in the Slack and the invites, and I messaged you right after they were talking about it on Twit, because Leo and iJustine were actually discussing it and helped me sell on. Because again, looking at it, like I didn't really get the concept, but that really kind of drove it home. Can you explain to everybody what Clubhouse is?
So Clubhouse is if you would take the AOL chat rooms and have speakers and then listen to it live. So like take like a panel of people and just, but it could be anybody. Like I was on the other night, I happened to go into this chat room that was Pittsburgh musicians, and they asked me to be on the panel to speak. And I declined because I didn't know anybody in the room, obviously. But like literally, and it's the way I can really that's the best way to describe it. It's basically like on-demand conferences that you can listen to speakers, and it's everything from. I was in a social media speak yesterday where they were just talking about brand advancements and like how to reach bigger customers and like audiences. To Gary V was talking the one day just for 20 minutes, and you got like, and it's a chat room, so they can literally reach out to you and ask you to talk, or you can raise your hand and talk. So there's a little bit more interaction there than your typical like sit in a conference room and listen to a person talk for 2 hours. Something locally, I'm part of a all women's group called Gather and Grow, and they're using it 3 times a week to just have gab sessions while we listen to music, just to be like a supportive group. I was on with TikTokers the other day and Instagram influencers for an hour. It was great. It was really, really interesting and insightful, and they were actually talking about being your authentic self. It was topics like that you don't normally get in a conference setting like South by Southwest. They were talking about how like Sophia Moroza, who runs Nasty Girl, who wrote Girl Boss, and she's been in a million books, rags to riches story, and she was talking about how like she had to talk about losing a child like on it and on social media, and that was like how she was authentic and things like that. Like it was a very neato thing to not, I don't know, it's just a lot different. It's
so the barrier for me is always like kind of jumping in on something like this, because that's what I hear, like, oh, so and so came in, let's let them in. Like I'm and even I think I was in a room actually while we were discussing this. Like I'm seeing like daily habits for high performers with like 400 people in there, 24-hour vibes, introduce yourself, stock market gems. It is a little bit of like I feel like it's like, well, what's this versus a Zoom meeting? But I guess it's like, what if you had an open Zoom meeting, which feels so dangerous, because I remember when we had open Google Hangouts in the early days and the weird things that would happen on our shows. But I'm still in it. Why is my name still there? That's interesting.
And the cool thing is like you don't get to talk unless the panel people tell you can talk.
Yeah.
So you can raise your hand. So there isn't like any of that type of weird stuff going on. But it's, you know what I really think of it is like, remember the boot camps like of years and years ago, and kind of like what we based Podcamp on, and where you could just jump from room to room to room to learn from anybody and everybody. It's almost like that on a larger scale.
Yeah, I can see it. It's a digitized version of that. Wait, are you saying we can bring back Podcamp digitally through this concept? Is that what's happening
We
right
probably could.
Not to
without
start
the
a rumor
visuals.
here, but I do still have the .com. Am I free to
Is it-
welcome? Oh, Katie just signed up for this. So
Is it just audio, or is there like a video screen share aspect to it?
Just video. Or just audio. I'm sorry, just audio. So you just literally put in your headphones and can be doing. I was painting walls while listening to it. Like I was writing last week listening to it. I didn't have to pay. I almost did it through osmosis, basically.
Huh. So it's a nice little background thing, kind of in lieu of a podcast, but it's actually live people. So that'll be interesting. I hope it's interesting. I'm worried that like all the influency people will latch onto it, and that's it. You know what I mean? And that's not enough for this app to keep going. But you know, we'll all be talking to each other about how we can talk to each other better. And but it's interesting. But it's in invite only mode now. That's how I got in. Thanks to you, Amanda. So, but if you look up Clubhouse, it's the one with a dude talking. So, like it's a black and white photo, and you feel like it's something else. But
Chilla was already taken.
oh,
You can reserve your name.
okay,
Yeah, you can. And I have invites left, so
there you go.
definitely.
Hit up Amanda. I have an invites now, so we can expand the awesome universe in this app. So I think I'm still in a room with you, Katie. Am I? Is that what's happening? Are you seeing this?
I'm adding interest. I think it's interesting that it wanted to pull my info from Twitter.
Yes. Like it filled out my
I
entire
think that
profile from Twitter. I think it had other options too, didn't it?
It just gave me Twitter as
Okay.
my option. I don't know, maybe it, and now I can add interests. I don't have interests, cats.
Yeah, the interests are weird because like you look in and it says, you know, what you're having conversations about when you get in here. It's like hanging out, wellness, identity, places, world affairs, arts. Like, they're so broad. Hustle. That was the one I was looking for. That was where the weird ones were because that was at the top of my list was hustle, and I guess that's where you find your TikTok people and everything like that. So. Yeah, there's some Instagram marketing secrets, tips, tricks. Actually, this actually might be pretty good. And they do have a lot of groups. Like let's see, there's I just saw the Black Working Girl one, Women in Business, like you mentioned, Amanda. So there's a lot of options out there to find, you know, kind of people in whatever tribe you're in. So that's good. That's awesome. Clubhouse, check it out. Try to get in. Reserve your name. Hopefully, Chilla didn't grab it already. So, from that, where are we at on time right now? I keep looking at my phone, which says 9:41 a.m. when you plug it into anything. So I don't know what's happening. It's about Chilla Pumpkin time. So I guess we can wrap things up here in a moment. Muppet Show coming to Disney Plus. I forgot to watch it. One's on Netflix, I think, or wait, maybe I got the DVDs. Was it on Netflix? Am I thinking that wrong? But either way, that's a big one. That's a big one. Anything else big? I think that's about it. We talked about Legos. Okay, I gotta touch on this one real quick before we head out. There's a homebrew setup to use the Labo kit. That was the cardboard set you could get to kind of make other games or make a backpack robot thing that would move your guy on screen from a little bit ago. Somebody reworked it to be able to do a full body Mario Kart workout. It looks like they turned it into like a bike kind of situation, and you basically have a Mario Kart exercise bike built out of Labo and homemade items as well. This looks pretty cool, and you know I was in that mindset with Apple Fitness this week, so that was cool. Chilla at Chilla on the Twitters, but not on the Clubhouse.
No, Chilla 579 on the Clubhouse.
It's a good
If
alternative.
if one of you would like to toss me an invite, I'd be happy.
There you go. Oh, I can invite Katie to speak. Let's see what's up there. And Katie Dudas, the Dudders. You were all over all the podcasts apparently now.
Yeah, I just keep popping up everywhere. I go away and then I just come back. I think people get annoyed over me and then I'm everywhere again.
It's like she's releasing a book or something sometimes, and I'm like, what is she promoting? She's just around, just
show up.
Just it's just a periodic Dudders tour.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
we talk.
We're confused. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Good. I was leaning into that.
I'm Dudders on Clubhouse now. Kate Marie PGH on Instagram, Dudders on Twitter. I am horrible at social media. Somebody who was good at this would probably have all the same handles across the board, but
at least you're on TikTok now, and I'm not tagging whoever the hell that other person was. So.
Dudders PGH. That's me on TikTok. Look at it, because Dudders was already taken.
There's like K Dudders was already taken, I think. That was weird to me. So, but anyways, and Amanda Narcisi over at boldpgh.com, Bold Pittsburgh. Follow it on your Apple News. I'm sorry, I'm doing all your plugs for you. I'm just excited that I figured out the Apple News part.
Yeah, Bold Pittsburgh on Apple News, Bold PGH on Twitter, Bold Pittsburgh on Instagram, Bold Pittsburgh on Facebook, and TikTok, Bold Pittsburgh. We're everywhere.
There you go. Go follow all the things. Please follow everything at AwesomeCast, everything AwesomeCast at AwesomeCast.com, and the Patreon and such over there. And we'll see you next Tuesday. I don't have a guest yet. We'll see what's going on. But also, if you haven't yet, check out our conversations. I got videos clipped out with our special guests the last couple weeks. Last week, the Button Pusher with Grind City TV, and Brian Sykes of Start the Beat and the Normal Creatures. I was typing the wrong thing into YouTube. Those interviews are clipped out over on the YouTube page. If you want to just listen to those part with whatever the week's tech was, you can cut that out and get right to our conversations there too. Please go check out everything. Please review us, especially on that Apple Podcast type app that you guys have out there if you are of that side. Thank you, guys. We'll see you next time. You have been our awesome audience. Have an awesome week. This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.